Have we reached peak wokeness? A number of signs say we have. I want to share a montage of chief diversity officers, or CDOs. The one thing these CDOs have in common, aside from being woke, is they are no longer in those roles. Let's just say the job of chief diversity officer isn't the hot career it was in June of 2020 after the death of George Floyd.
What we have learned about diversity and inclusion is that while it's the right thing to do for sure, it is also responsible for our ability to innovate.
At the Walt Disney Company, we focus unapologetically on diversity, inclusion, and belonging.
But we have to make sure that our content and our characters reflect the world that we live in.
That's all I'm here to do, is to say, hey, is there someone missing to this equation, to this community, to this conversation, to this production that should be here?
And by the way, thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing here at Americans for Limited Government, please like and share this video and comment below. Let us know what you think. Have we reached peak wokeness? Also, I'd love it if you would subscribe to Americans for Limited Government on YouTube and Rumble. Next, I have a great clip from Piers Morgan discussing the current state of woke corporations. You'll want to watch to the end to see him do a terrific takedown of an Australian wokey.
Companies now feel a desperate urge to impinge on the rest of us, their own supposed values and beliefs. And if we veer from them, we're somehow evil.
Well, I think we're absolutely seeing that if you go woke as a company, you will go broke. And you've read out lots of companies there who financially have suffered, and actually NatWest and Coots will financially suffer from this. No question at all. Hopefully, the lesson to be learned out of this is we are possibly at peak wokeness. But the reason we've come to it, Piers, I think is because of weak leadership on the boards of directors of these companies who have fallen for this stuff that has come from younger people underneath, and they haven't had the courage to say, don't be daft, where's the common sense, stick to doing a good, producing a good product and selling it to customers
Paula, it's
that
a
want
bunch.
to buy beer.
I've seen this myself. I saw it at ITV when I went through my exit from Good Morning Britain. A lot of the aggro was driven internally by young wokies at ITV. I know you don't like the term, but let me explain what it means.
No, I do like the term. I like the term woke. I support the term woke because I know what it means.
What do you think it means?
Well, it's not what I think it means, it's what I know it means.
No.
It's what, and it's.
I know what it used to mean. I wrote a book about it. I wrote a whole book about it. It's the number one bestseller, right?
It still means the same thing.
I know what woke used to mean, raising awareness for social and racial injustice. I get it, right? That is not what today's woke means.
Well,
today's woke is the new fascism.
The Wall Street Journal editorial board wrote a great piece recently about how CEOs are being squeezed from both sides of the political spectrum. In a piece headlined, CEOs Caught in a Diversity Trap, the Wall Street Journal notes that earlier this month, 13 state attorney generals sent letters to Fortune 100 companies warning them that their diversity, equity, and inclusion hiring practices could be illegal. And now 21 Democratic AGs have sent a letter with the opposite message, telling them their hiring practices are above board and should be expanded. This all comes in the wake of the recent Supreme Court case knocking down affirmative action at universities and colleges. If anything, the courts have been more stringent about eliminating discrimination in the workplace than at universities. I wonder if these corporate CEOs regret going down the woke path. They should have remained neutral all along. Joining me now to talk about corporate wokeness is David Potter, the Director of Digital Media at Americans for Limited Government. David, thank you for joining me today. I know that you have been watching this issue of corporate wokeness very closely for a number of years. So my question is, have we reached peak wokeness in this country?
That is a great question, Catherine. There really are two opposing forces right now, and one is the American people. They have indicated multiple times that they are sick of wokeness. CMT removed Jason Aldean, his song, Try That in a Small Town, and country music fans are outraged. They're now revolting against CMT, boycotting CMT. And you also have instances like Bud Light. It's not even carried in Costco anymore. Costco allegedly are going to start soon, or they already have, ceasing selling Bud Light altogether. So the American people are saying, We're done with woke values being forced upon us.
I know you watch very closely what our audience responds to at Americans for Limited Government. Is the woke culture something that really hits a nerve with our people? Is this an issue that whenever we message or we post a video on this, people are really engaged on?
Yeah, they love to see the downfall of wokeness because the values are anti-American. And conservatives, I've always thought of, and I see this in myself and other conservatives, they step back, they don't get involved in institutions, they don't get as involved in culture, but there comes a point where they're like, okay, that's enough. And we've reached that point. And our audience is definitely, I would say, the conservative demographic in America in total are just like enjoying seeing wokeness fail because it's not American. It should fail. It's not something that is congruent with our constitutional republic, with our Bill of Rights. And so people love seeing things that are anti-American fall. Yeah, they're enjoying it.
Thank you so much for joining us today, David. That's David Potter, Director of Digital Media at Americans for Limited Government.
Great seeing you, Catherine. Follow us on LimitGovT on Twitter. Or X now. Now it's X.